everyone. Thank you for joining us. This is Christopher Bannon with the National Weather Service here in Slidell, Louisiana, and we're going to do a real quick severe weather briefing for tonight and into tomorrow. As we look at the situation overview, we have 2 rounds of possible severe weather expected to impact the region. The first round now looks like it's going to be tonight, as a line of thunderstorms over North Louisiana and West Louisiana, along with a strong, what we call supercell, continues to push towards this area. The Storm Prediction Center has now increased our area to an enhanced risk across southwest Mississippi and the adjacent Louisiana parishes. And then they extended the slight risk further south to just south of the I-10 corridor. And then we have a second round of severe weather tomorrow with an enhanced risk again, but this is mainly over coastal Mississippi. And then we have a slight risk back to the west, all the way to the Baton Rouge and Macomb line, which is west of the enhanced risk. That second round will be mainly during the kind of mid-morning to mid-afternoon hours. Tonight, looks like we could see all modes of severe weather possible: large hail, damaging winds, and then maybe a few tornadoes. 1 or 2 could be strong, which would be EF2 or greater, so we have to keep an eye on that, especially when I show you this supercell that we're watching that's just now east of Fort Polk at around 9:15 this evening. And then Thursday, tomorrow, looks like from sunrise to mid-afternoon, the primary risk will be damaging winds and large hail, but we cannot rule out an isolated tornado or 2, especially down here in South Louisiana and South Mississippi. Quickly going to the threat levels, as you can see, do have an enhanced risk for all of them: damaging winds, tornadoes, and hail. Confidence is kind of in that mid to even maybe a slightly higher range. The biggest issue is if this first line of thunderstorms can make it all the way through the area, which we'll show you a little bit later. Real quick severe weather outlook for tonight. As you can see, the Storm Prediction Center did push this enhanced risk now down into our area, so that includes the Macomb area and portions of the Baton Rouge Metro. And as you can see, the slight risk has been pushed further south to just south of the I-10 corridor, which does include the New Orleans Metro and coastal Mississippi. As we go to the severe weather outlook for tomorrow, you can see the enhanced risk is mainly across Mississippi, then the slight risk goes back to the west. Again, it's about to align from Macomb to Baton Rouge, so the North Shore, South Shore, the Baton Rouge Metro, Macomb area will all be that slight risk for tomorrow. Quickly want to go back to tonight's. The biggest concern tonight is that with severe weather expected overnight, many of you will be asleep, so I do want to point out, please have a way to receive warnings and ways that will wake you up, because you get a tornado or severe thunderstorm warning issued at 2-3 o'clock in the morning. Most of you will probably be asleep, so make sure you have a way of getting information that will wake you up in the middle of the night. Real quick, this is the excessive rainfall outlook. As you can see, really not a big concern from a standpoint of rain. However, we do have a marginal risk over most of the area and a slight risk for excessive rainfall over southwest Mississippi. Real quickly, showing you the storm total rainfall forecast. As you can see, most of the rain is really expected to be kind of light, on that ½ inch to maybe 1.5 inches. However, there will be locally isolated higher amounts, especially wherever 1 or 2 storms move over the same area. Real quick looking at timing severe weather. This is kind of a little bit more up in the air now, as these storms are a little bit stronger than were initially thought and could push all the way through our area overnight and early tomorrow morning. But right now, this is the best idea we've got. That first range is kind of that northwestern portion, it's just northwest of Baton Rouge and to the west of Macomb. Looks like anywhere from just before midnight through 5 a.m. That will probably be the one area that only sees like 1 round of severe weather. The second area is that kind of middle, a little bit lighter gray, would include the Baton Rouge Metro, Macomb, down to around Hammond. They'll see that first line possibly as early as between 2 and 4 in the morning, especially if the line persists. And then we could see redevelopment shortly after sunrise through the late morning hours. And then the third area, which includes most of our region, all of extreme southeast Louisiana and coastal Mississippi, if that line does persist, it should move through right around sunrise. And I mean, it could get all the way to coastal Mississippi just before sunrise. And then we would expect a redevelopment kind of late morning then, and then into the afternoon hours. So that is our main timing concern, this situation overview. And it looks like we do have that first round of severe weather, which is now an enhanced risk across southwest Mississippi and adjacent Louisiana parishes, and that slight risk, which has been extended down to I-10. And then we have that second round, which could occur during the late morning hours and into the afternoon. That enhanced risk is mainly for coastal Mississippi, and then the slight risk is back to the west to a line from about Macomb to Baton Rouge. All modes of severe weather are possible tonight. Large hail damaging winds and isolated tornadoes. 1 or 2 tornadoes could be strong, EF2 or greater. And then we could see, again, severe weather tomorrow with damaging winds, large hail, and possible isolated tornadoes. Can never rule that out down here. So quickly, I just want to go over to one thing that is really concerning. We are watching. This is the storm we're watching right now. It's that what we call supercell. It has been producing a tornado for quite a while. It actually had a tornado back here in East Texas, and as it's moved south of Fort Polk, south of Alexandria, it continues to push off to the east. We continue to watch it right now. Looks like it's producing another tornado. You can see we have a pretty good rotation on that storm that we've been watching. Looking at something else real quick. And yep, it would look like there is a tornado on the ground, at least as of the latest radar scan, which was around 9:30. That would be a debris signature. So we're watching that to see if it does continue east and possibly push into our area, and looking out for Wilkinson County, which is the county that we do cover in southwest Mississippi. And the last thing I want to show you right quick is that this is kind of a model estimate of what to expect. Again, this is, I've said it before, this isn't gospel. It just gives us an idea of what we're expecting across the area. So as you can see, it does show thunder showers, thunderstorms start to kind of weaken, and then we have a redevelopment in the line. And that line continues to push east, and this would be around 2 to 3 o'clock in the morning. You can see it's already in the Baton Rouge metro area, Macomb, and then pushing across I-55. And then this would be around 5 to 6 o'clock in the morning on the South Shore, North Shore, and then pushing into coastal Mississippi shortly after that. And then what happens is that clears out of the area, and then we see redevelopment later in the morning and early afternoon hours. These storms could really be hailers, large hail with those storms. So we have to keep a close eye on that for any redevelopment later in the morning hours and afternoon hours. Thank you all for joining. Hopefully this helps out. And remember, stay weather alert. Make sure you have a way to receive warnings overnight. And stay safe.